like a dog in the street.
Purple Daily is daily Vikings entertainment. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die.
I will ride with this group.
Seriously, man. Please.
And away we go.
And away we do go. It is Purple Daily. It's a Feedback Friday. If you're looking at the screen right now and you're saying, well, there's Judd, I see him. Didn't see him on Tuesday, but I see him. There's Declan.
Took Tuesdays
I see
off.
him. Yeah, I took a Tuesday off. There's Declan. Where's Phil? Phil is on his annual excursion elsewhere to a warm climate, which he takes every single year on Thanksgiving. It's become a tradition. So no Phil today. You're going to have to make do with us. Hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. Hope you all had plenty to eat. 3 football games, which was marvelous. Of course, the National Football League now has taken every single holiday it can and monopolized it, which we absolutely love.
But they've always had Thanksgiving. Like, Thanksgiving's always been, especially theirs. I mean, to your point, they've now grabbed everything else by the you-know-whats, but Thanksgiving, I feel like, has always been there. It's been their turkey. It's been their turducken, obviously, pun intended, of the holiday season.
Don't forget, though, they used to do 2 games. And then the third game is within, like, the last 10 years.
Yeah, yep.
And the Thursday night game.
Yep.
So they basically said, hold on a second. You know, it used to be like, okay, let's do 2 games. And Cowboys, then, you know, Lions. People can spend time with their family. They can play board games. They can get in fights. They can be incessantly bored. And then they're like, hold on a second here. Let's just mix in a night game, which is, I got no complaints, man. I watched all 3. I got no
great
complaints.
Great games.
Before we get to the feedback, though, I want to talk to you about something because you know what? You're going to have to get back to work on Monday. You're going to be driving to work and you're going to have forgotten something. You're going to have forgotten a snack. You're going to have forgotten lunch. You're going to have forgotten something. Maybe the gas tank, like with Phil, is near E. And that's when you stop at Quick Trip and you say, you know what? This is going to solve all of my problems. This is going to turn my Monday around and make it great. Quick Trip, as if you're watching this right now, you can see all of the options at Quick Trip. It is fantastic. You're saying, Sports Dad, this is a grocery store, and Sports Dad's telling you, no, it's not. It's a Quick Trip. It's a convenience store. Put the app on your phone, even more convenient. And, of course, the quality gasoline guarantee assures you that when you fill up the tank, you are going to fill it up with fuel that is going to, especially this time of year, make sure that your car gets to wherever you are going. Quick Trip. All right, Declan, without further ado, it's a Feedback Friday. You got all the feedback, baby.
I do have the feedback. A lot of heavy Max Brosmer feedback, Judley, in our YouTube comments section and on the Score North app. So, and by the way, we do see the comments flowing in here. So if you do have comments, I know Judd always says, put that comment up. If you have comments, you want things answered,
comments.
You drop in the comment, and we will likely read it, as long as it doesn't put us in a bad light or
you know what?
Potentially fired.
Just don't spam something. I see that once in a while, and it's super annoying. And it's not even. Like, don't spam us.
I know. We get the bots can be really bad too. The bots that come in and then really got to block it. So yeah, have good etiquette. Okay, let's start this one though. From Zach, it's pretty much statistically impossible for Brosmer to be worse than JJ McCarthy, right? Is it possible to be worse than JJ McCarthy?
Oh boy,
you want the raw JJ McCarthy stats?
He's all time bad right now.
I know.
So I think he's probably right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The traditional stats: 6 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, a 54% completion percentage, passer rating of 57.9. That's not his QBR. His QBR is 24.2. And let's see, has taken 20 sacks. In fact, he has been sacked on 11% of dropbacks.
Yeah, it's pretty much, you know what, that note, it might seem like hyperbole at first, but it's probably not. Now, I will say this. I've been giving this a lot of thought because I am a very boring person. You know, here's my expectation of Max Brosmer.
Okay.
Obviously, like the 100%, this is unbelievable, is Brock Purdy, right? Like, he could be the Brock Purdy, blah, blah, blah. And we get caught up in that. To me, the floor, unless it's McCarthy, but let's just say it's not. To me, the floor is Jaren Hall. Like, we were very excited. Jaren Hall is going to start. And he did some, he at first did some decent little things. He got hurt. But I think, I think we need to be prepared for Jaren Hall. Do you think that's fair?
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but yes. It's more likely he's Jaren Hall than Brock Purdy, right?
100%.
Yeah, so it is unfortunate. Bonzi says, what if Brosmer wins against the Seahawks? It would be a very difficult conversation. What if Brosmer wins in Seattle And does that create a different conversation? I think personally, Judd, I'll answer it first here. I think if he wins, I think you have to stick with them, right? I mean, they're 12. I think and we'll do purple picks for the Saturday episode of on Purple Daily. Right now, 11.5-point dogs in Seattle. 11.5.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got a guy who's a UDFA quarterback starting. You've got a team that overall certainly has flaws. So it's not just like if you take the quarterback out and replace him. Now, if that quarterback was a veteran backup, I don't think it's as much. Like, I think the Max Brosmer is the Max Brosmer starting because, you know, the pundits and the odds makers know nothing about him. I think probably makes that 11.5 instead of, let's say, 8.5, 9. Mm-hmm. If he wins, I think it depends on how he looks. And look, I mean, I'm certainly not expecting him to win. Don't want to spoil things for our Saturday show. But if he wins and like the defense wins the game and he barely gets by, I'm not sure he keeps the job. If he looks great, then that's a very different question. So I think it's the eye test. I think it's the eye test, the statistical test, more so than just a black and white. Well, he won. You know, if they win 6-3, and it's again two big leg Bill field goals, but he plays just okay. But the defense goes lights out. I'm not expecting this. Then I think might be back to McCarthy.
There's a comp here from, I believe it's KF Zizzle. He says, pending Brosmer being good, and I saw Jaron Hall, so I'm hesitant. The most stomachable option is Jameis Winston. Bring back the vibes to the locker room. He is so exciting to watch, and he will probably ethically tank if we end up losing football games, and I can't stay mad at him. I have not, and I saw just a little bit of Golden Gopher football in 2024.
Yeah.
I do not, correct me if I'm wrong, I number one, I don't sense any Jameis Winston-like vibes, like off-the-field vibes from Max. He's much more of a stoic, corporate-y quarterback. And in terms of playing style, I also don't. I'll say this. I don't know. I don't think he's Jameis Winston.
No.
But he brings up at least the vibe standpoint of, yeah, if he leads a comeback win, or like let's say they do cover and it's just a close game and, you know, they lose, you know, just by losing their way out, then it is a different conversation. But I don't see the Jameis Winston vibes with Max Brosmer.
No. Now, just to be clear, you know, last season he had some really nice games. He was not great all season. As I recall, he sort of came on towards the second half. So it's not like he was lights out. And he will be very prepared. He always is. I think he's pretty calm. I think now, of course, it's different when you're playing against the National Football League or in the National Football League. But all that being said, yeah, I don't see any comparable, unless he's just saying it would be fun if Max just said to hell with it. Right. But then he won't play because Kevin O'Connell will become very upset at him.
A couple more pieces of feedback on Max Brosmer, and we will transition to the JJ McCarthy bin of feedback. Hit the like button and the subscribe button here on the Purple Daily YouTube channel. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us on a holiday weekend. Jonathan says, my hot take is Brosmer is better than JJ, and the Vikings front office knows it and will do anything they can to keep Brosmer from starting because of it.
Well, I mean, it feels like that's, you know, got some validity to it, but I will say this. The JJ, I mean, to me, the JJ thing right now is in a separate bin as well because it's been so bad.
Yeah.
So I'm not even sure. Like, yes, he is better. I'm sure he is. Like, a lot of people could go out and start games. I mean, hell, Trey Lance could probably go start a game and be better than McCarthy. So it's not like this is some, like, race where it's like, oh, McCarthy's played okay, but he's not as good as I thought. He's been abysmal. So I did think it was interesting in the Chargers game that they wouldn't start Brosmer. They started Wentz with a shoulder that was hanging by a thread. But I'm past the point now of, well, the Vikings front office, it's no secret. Almost any quarterback that you could start from, as you backed up statistically, in the entire league right now would be better than J.J. McCarthy.
Right. Razor says, Brosmer has an advantage over McCarthy, and nobody has any film on him in the NFL. No tendencies, no habits. They don't even know his cadence. This is kind of like in baseball when a pitcher comes up. There's not a lot of info, I guess, on them. It is interesting, though, to Razor's point here of no film, but also what you just said, which dovetails into what we were hearing behind the scenes about Brosmer, even like leading up in like a month or two ago of, hey, there's actually something here. I've been on the record. I'm sick of, and I know the Vikings might have to change this due to their quarterback dilemma, but I'm sick of finding like the random backup quarterback. And I like the fact that like you're developing your backup. You know, like I like that Max Brosmer, that they signed him, he made the roster, and I would like for him to stay on the roster so he can just be in the system. Now is Carson Wentz, who, as we know, big fan, is Carson Wentz like a more ready and better quarterback than Max Brosmer is? Yes, I mean, he probably is. I guess we'll find out on Sunday. But I'm a huge fan of developing your backups and keeping those guys in-house. And if that means he's only here for 4 years and, you know, then wants to go to another team, go for it. But I'm also a big fan of developing your own quarterbacks from within.
Yeah, yes, I agree. Now, there's a very real chance that if this McCarthy thing continues this poorly, which it very well might, that the Vikings are simply going to go get a quarterback they can start, right. not some slappy for 2026. But I will say this about the first part, okay? So, like, when a pitcher comes up and a team doesn't have, like, a scouting report on him, he independently can confuse opposing team for at least the first trip through, right? The difference in football is, yes, Brosmer could have some surprising elements to his game, but, excuse me, I don't expect KOC to go off his script. So, like, what the Vikings do is what the Vikings do. So there could be some curveballs here and there that definitely would be different than what the Vikings have done with JJ, that being said. But I think across the board, like if you scout the Vikings, if you watch the Vikings film, I'm guessing the tenets of what O'Connell does, in fact, we talked about this, don't change a ton. So like just how you play offensively and how you scheme things up is a tell. So, and Brosmer's going to try to run the system, is my guess. I'm sure he is. So like it's, yeah, there can be things here and there that can be pleasant surprises to the fans. But I think as far as the Seahawks go, they're going to have a pretty good idea of what the Vikings are going to try to do offensively.
So do you also think, and I think you kind of answered it there, but same offensive game plan? Like, does he want Max high A dots? Does he still want him pushing down the field, long step? Do you think he dumbs things down a little bit, or are we living and dying by how KOC operates his offense?
I think, you know what? I think McCarthy, I think there definitely been times where he could have taken checkdowns and still tried to push the ball down the field, which was an option. I'm guessing Brosmer takes his check down more. So like part of the frustration with O'Connell is the fact that he runs an offense that probably is not the best thing for JJ right now, but of course you could probably put poor McCarthy in with 31 teams besides the Vikings, and he wouldn't succeed right now. But I think Brosmer will probably take the check down and safer passes like that more, and those are an option. It's just that McCarthy likes to try to drive the ball down the field, and I am curious to see about the mental capacity here. So part of the problem with McCarthy has been, and we saw this against the Packers, was he can't pull the trigger. Like, I don't know what's up, but he just can't pull the trigger. You've got, in this league, you have to pull the trigger. So I think Brosmer will get to his other options quicker. I hope for his sake. So I do think that we will see it will look different to us. It will not be a fundamentally different thing from what is already in the game plan.
For sure. All right, we're gonna dive into the JJ McCarthy bin now of feedback. Strap in. Hit the like button and subscribe button. K. Pete says, everybody wants to hang McCarthy and get rid of him. He's no good. If you remember, Troy Aikman's first year in the NFL, he played 11 games and did not win a single one. He had 9 touchdowns to 18 interceptions. And where is he now? Oh, that's right. He's in the Hall of Fame. So, I mean, and K. Pete, obviously maybe a staunch McCarthy defender, maybe a Cowboys guy, I don't know. But also at the same time, making sure, I mean, they might bail on him, but it is premature to completely bail on this. But but also, like, and I saw some of this actually in our comments that are popping up now. But, when San Francisco moved on from Trey Lance, right? So they move on from Lance, they go back to Jimmy Garoppolo, then to Brock Purdy, and now they're doing Mac Jones thing. They had the benefit of going to multiple Super Bowls, multiple championship games, a phenomenal front office head coach duo, and ownership. And ownership too, right? Trusting that their front office and their head coach can do this. unfortunately, even though the Vikings ownership, I typically think, does the right thing, KOC and Kwesi don't have those requisites. So when San Francisco does it, and did they get is them getting Brock Purdy and him being good, is luck on the side there? Sure, for sure, it's involved there. But when you have a front office and head coach that is that good, they can move off of the second overall pick after 2 starts or whatever it was and be better for it. I don't know, and I don't think we can give the Vikings the benefit of the doubt that they can do the same thing.
So there's an even, I mean, those are great points, and there's an even more in-depth conversation here, though. And I saw a comment, and it's exactly right. We're becoming very confused here. There have been a lot of I shouldn't say a lot. There have been quarterbacks like Aikman, and the comment's right. He stepped into a team that was awful, and it was awful on purpose, by the way. Like the Herschel Walker trade was for players and picks, and the picks fired if the Cowboys cut the players. They cut all of the players. They wanted all of the picks. They did not want to be good. Jimmy Johnson expertly tanked. Man, do I love him. Man, do I have an appreciation for a good tanker. Expertly picked. And he gave Troy Aikman a terrible football team, okay? So let's stop drawing a comparison between these bottom feeder teams that have a quarterback. I mean, Cam Ward. Cam Ward is a perfect example. Yep, he's playing for an awful football team. and look, I mean, he struggled, yeah. But the reality is, the Vikings have a good team. Offensively, I mean, there are too many weapons to say this is not a good offense. And the other thing is, unfortunately, the 49ers parallel is way closer, because if Trey Lance had been drafted by a really bad team, they do not give up on Trey Lance that quickly.
True.
The 49ers pivoted off of Lance because they had the Vikings problem, or actually the Vikings problem like +1, which is we're way too good to do this. We don't have the patience. We don't have the time. We can't have that patience. And so I think when we just pick random quarterback A who was terrible but playing on a terrible team, we're going too far now. Like, I haven't seen enough from McCarthy to say, well, but hold on a second here. All of that being said, we talked about this. You're an idiot if you cut him. You're an idiot because there is no reason not to keep him and try to develop him. But do I think the Vikings, if JJ McCarthy continues to play like this, do I think the Vikings are going to double down and say McCarthy and Brosmer in 26? No, I don't think they have too much talent to do that. So, you got to develop McCarthy. And if I remember, the 49ers did give Lance a few chances, but the 49ers comparison is way more accurate as far as what's around the quarterback than the 89, I think it was, or 90 Cowboys.
Yep. Ghetto Lennon says McCarthy's failure makes it easier for the owners to fire Kwesi. He actually calls him he puts a swear word in the middle of his name, and Kevin O. Childress calls him Kevin O. Childress. What is the stomach? What's the percent chance that one of, if not both, are fired? I guess Judd, not because I can't really combine them. What's the percentage chance for each of them to potentially be fired if the Vikings just continue to free fall and we go into the offseason with a lot of uncertainty?
Both got contract extensions, so that might preclude Kwesi being fired. I think O'Connell is 100% safe. Unless something has changed drastically behind the scenes, which we have not heard, I think O'Connell is perfectly safe. Kwesi also got a contract extension. We don't know the terms of that contract, so I don't know if I'm guessing it's for less than what Kevin got. I think Kevin got, the reports were, he got 4 years and a huge raise. So they're not going to, he's not going away. The Kwesi thing, it becomes much more interesting, and I put his percentage higher because of the fact, not McCarthy, it's the drafts. The indictment of Kwesi, because I do believe, like most people, JJ McCarthy, unless O'Connell comes out and says he was not my guy ever, there's no way the quarterback whisperer, who basically, by the way, said 2 years ago now, I'm also the quarterback killer. I have killed us drafting QBs previously. There's no way that he can skate on this one. He definitely had a big role here, if not a huge role. But, Dex, let's look at the draft picks, because that's my thing.
Yeah.
You are not, I mean, we've talked about this. Your 2 best picks off the top of my head since 2022 are Jordan Addison, and Will Riker.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think those are your two best picks. So, and you went from great free agent class in 24 to spending the second most, I believe they spent the second most cap money on their 2025 free agent class. And I think they led the league in cash over cap, like all of the money. So if Kwesi pays the price, that's where. It's not going to be McCarthy. It's going to be on, you had to go out and sign a huge free agent class because your draft classes have failed and we cannot continue to have this. So I do expect a head to roll. If they don't let go of Kwesi because of the contract, then I think at the very least Grigson goes. I think somebody has to, to me, that's the worst part is the fact that the quarterback thing's a disaster, but the bigger disaster as a whole is you basically had to go sign a disappointing free agent class because you have been unable to effectively draft.
Yeah, I wonder who that would be too. Like if they were to replace Grigson, I wonder, is that more of is that more of like a true football guy? I think so.
And it would probably be a very good friend of Kevin O'Connell's, my guess. I would guess that at that point they would usurp. I mean, I don't know how much power Kwesi has right now, but it would be at that point. My guess is that Kevin O'Connell would play a big role in getting the football guy to help out because. Unless the Wilfs have turned on KO, I don't think he's in bad standing at all there. I think that this is unfortunate, but I think that they still trust him.
I saw this pointed out from our guy Leighton on the Before I Die podcast, and you can follow him too on Twitter. So I'm gonna pull this up here. I think I can get this in time. So Max Brosmer obviously spent a long time at, was it New Hampshire?
Yep.
Where was he?
New Hampshire.
So he showed up all of his, trying to get all his passing attempts up here because I saw this point from Leighton, which was a good one. So Max Brosmer had just under 1,600 passing attempts in college. He's also 24 years old. He'll be 25 in March. Mm-hmm. JJ McCarthy in college at Michigan, obviously a very run-heavy offense, had 713 pass attempts in college.
Yeah,
over 2
crazy.
years as a starter, basically. He
Crazy.
came into a game in 2021, but so a huge difference in reps and all that noise, right? I don't love the look, like he is 22, and yes, you have to be patient with the guy that's 22, but when you're in the NFL, I kind of throw a lot of that out the window. Like, you don't draft someone 10th overall, and if you deem them they're not ready because they're too young, like, that doesn't work here. Like in baseball, when you draft a teenager, you gotta develop him, you gotta cultivate him for the most part, for the next few years.
Right.
You don't have that luxury in football at all.
No, and the Jordan Love thing is not normal. Like you don't draft, and Jordan Love, if I'm correct, was way in the back half of the first round. But yeah, you do not draft a top 10 guy to say, hey, we'll see you in 3 years, 4 years. Like the question now has become, do you think that you can just develop him?
Right.
And what's the best course? But you also have to do it while weighing the fact that you have an ownership group that wants to win now. You have Justin Jefferson, Addison back next year. So yeah, I'm with you. You do not take a kid and say, well, he's young, we'll give it some time. We only drafted him 10th. You're exactly right.
Eric says, what if Brosmer and McCarthy had both been at Michigan? Would Brosmer have started? If so, would anybody have ever heard of J.J. McCarthy?
So Brosmer was at New Hampshire for a reason, folks.
Yeah.
J.J. McCarthy was a better prospect. Now, Brosmer has some attributes for sure. He definitely developed. He definitely is very, very smart, diligent in the playbook, which, just to be very clear, I think McCarthy is too. Like, I don't want to make this out like, well, McCarthy's failings are because he doesn't know the plays. He definitely knows the plays. But I mean, they've talked about this, the fact they love Max because of what a student of the game he is. Does that mean he's going to be a successful quarterback? I have no clue. But no, I do not think that Brosmer, like if Michigan would have gone out and found him before New Hampshire got him, if he was a good enough prospect.
Let me look up. I think this usually is public info. See what recruit stars he was, and I don't know if that even is available for him. Or
It might.
rivals.
Well,
Max Brosmer rivals. I think rivals typically.
Yeah, New Hampshire's not exactly a football hotbed.
No.
So,
it's not.
like, you end up there, you really want to just play football.
Yeah, I can't find it. I don't know if he was even a 2-star, 1-star, 3-star recruit.
He couldn't have been 3-star. He would have gone somewhere bigger if he was a 3-star.
True. Quick pause here in the feedback, though. But MSP Plumbing, Heating, Judd, it got the winter here. It's supposed to snow again tomorrow.
Oh,
Who
yeah.
should they contact?
They should contact my friends at MSP Plumbing, Heating and Air, because here's the thing, too. You talk about multidimensional. You talk about taking the check down, driving the ball deep. MSP Plumbing, Heating and Air, 100% does that. I've been talking about the HVAC part for a while now, but what about the plumbing angle? Right now, MSP is offering a free camera inspection for your drain if you mention either my name or Purple Daily. If you're dealing with those persistent clogs in your drain, slow draining sinks or toilets, or you're in an older home, a free inspection now can avoid issues before they take place. So if we're talking plumbing, we're talking, as Declan just said, certainly important, heating, any of that. For info, give them a call, 651-615-4292, or check out their website, callmsp.com. They also are your local Carrier dealer, so check them out to learn more about Carrier products. That's MSP Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
Shout out to Underdog. It's been feast week. Sorry, feast week all week. Not just feasting at your dinner table, but feast week at Underdog too. So many different promos, so many different boosts that are popping in your lobby if you're already a user. And if you haven't joined in on the fun, go sign up. Promo code SCORE, SKOR. Play your first $5. Get $100 in bonus entries. It's super fun playing on Underdog, higher, lower. Max Brosmer. We'll see what the Max Brosmer higher, lower looks like for this Sunday. Go sign up with promo code SCORE. And then, Judd, what of your favorite tournaments is getting closer? We're under a month away.
I'm so
We're
excited.
under a month away.
I know.
Bring tear to your eye.
Yes, that is the World Junior Ice Hockey Championships, which I'm telling you right now is the best annual tournament there is. That's right. Forget the basketball tournament. The World Juniors, which will be celebrating its 50th anniversary, definitely the best. To Declan's point, starts December 26th, runs through January 5th, will be held at Grand Casino Arena and also 3M at Mariucci. We are talking about top talent from 10 nations. And guess what? Today, there is the Black Friday BOGO deal that's on. Ooh. Get this one. Buy one ticket, get one free now through December 1st. So it starts today, goes through December 1st. Buy one ticket, get one free. If you have a hockey-obsessed fan or you yourself love the sport, this is a great holiday gift to yourself or your friend. Grab your tickets at worldjuniorsmn26.com. That's worldjuniorsmn26.com. I am super excited for this.
Judges might sleep at the XL Energy Center or Mariucci. He might just sleep at the rink.
All the Canadian games are at the Mooch.
Okay.
And all the U.S. games, because they're not in the same bracket, are at Grand Casino.
Grand
Casino. So I don't know, man. This Team Canada is going to be phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. Back to the feedback here, and yes, we will have a snake draft of the week. In fact, I can hear the Enter Sandman music playing from the bullpen because AJ Fredrickson's coming in.
Yeah,
he's coming in here.
He's a ringer. It's crap.
So we'll have a snake draft here. AJ will sub in for Phil. Duncan says JJ is not the whole problem. Expectation and a win now is a problem. Coaching is a problem. KOC can't coach a rookie quarterback. They should sit him like quarterbacks of old and let him learn behind a veteran. He is. I understand what Duncan's trying to make here, that this was not a Cam Ward situation or a Caleb Williams situation. Last year, the Vikings insulated McCarthy. I equated it to, so like you have a sweet new car that's been souped up, but you are giving it to a guy with a learner's permit, and he might be a bad driver. And so far we have learned that J.J. McCarthy is not a good driver. Doesn't mean he can't be a good driver down the road, but he is scratching and denting and running that car into the ground. This was not my 98 Chevy Malibu. That was my first car. Okay, this is a nice souped up car, and the expectation where you were supposed to drive it effectively. But he says coaching is a problem, and they should sit him like the quarterbacks of old. I mean, like I said, if Brosmer wins, like they probably are going to sit him. But I think the bigger discussion is what is the plan for 2026.
100%. Yeah, 2025 is a lost cause, folks. It's a lost cause. So if Brosmer wins and he's lights out, the only reason to keep playing Max would be if you think that he is your starting quarterback potentially, okay? Which, again, probably more Jared Hall than Brock Purdy. This is a lost season. So if Brosmer's okay, he's not great, and McCarthy is healthy, and they're like, let's play him, let's see again, okay? I have zero problem with that. You hit the nail on the proverbial head.
Oh, thank you.
It's 26. It's all about 26. And do you think, and like, what does the sample size now have to be if and when McCarthy returns to say, okay, we definitely have something here that is a conversation about him starting? What's the conversation about, you know what? He's certainly not in any trouble of losing his roster spot, but we can't continue to start him. And I think there is a very good chance right now that the emailer gets what he wants, which is I could very well see McCarthy sitting again in 26, and he's been so bad too that the rookie contract, unless he comes back at some point, in the next couple of years and just goes lights out, the rookie contract becomes a non-factor, unfortunately, because he ain't going to cost you a lot on the second contract.
No, that's true. That's true. Does this feel to you, and Judd, we might have more clarity on this, like by the end of the season, after the season plays out, as we go into January. But we've been doing this show together. Me, you, and Phil have doing it for 5 years now, since 2020. And this easily feels like the most, I can't put a pin, I can't figure out what the offseason plan is. Like, even when Zim stayed around, it was like, okay, they're going to build it in the margins with Kirk. They bring in KOC. It's exciting. He keeps Kirk, and they kind of go within the margins of some signings.
Right.
Obviously, a couple off seasons ago, they have the J.J. McCarthy draft. This last offseason, they spent a bunch of money. This, to me, is like the most uncertain I've ever... Now, doesn't mean that March won't be fun, because March is always fun. It's one of Sports Dad's favorite times of the year, is the NFL free agency. But this is probably like the most uncertain I have ever felt about a Vikings offseason plan.
I don't think they know.
Yeah.
like we're having conversations about if the GM is still going to be here.
Yeah.
So I don't think they know yet. I think they're hoping to get probably another few games to see if McCarthy improves. But I mean, let's just take that position. Is your plan, if McCarthy does not show huge improvement, which I don't expect, but if McCarthy, just scuffles again and it's just ugly, are you going out now and trying to pursue a legitimate starting quarterback? Are you going out and trying to pursue a quarterback that you think you can get starts out of, but McCarthy still has a chance? I don't think they have a clue. And the thing, too, is they're not young. Like, McCarthy's young. He's 22, but they're not young. Harrison Smith is going to retire. I am positive of that. You've got a lot of guys who are question marks. And I don't think the Wilfs will allow you to hit a true reset button. And it's tough when Justin Jefferson's on your roster. But all of that being said, that at least has to be considered. Like, they did cheat the system in 22. They cheated death. Because in 22, it's like, you probably should hit a reset here. And they're like, no.
No.
We think Zimmer did a bad job with our roster, and we're going to run it back. Do you know what this is, Dex? You'll get this. This is Final Destination football version. That's what this is. In 22, you cheated it, but it's going to get you, because sports always get you. And so I don't think they know, and I think there's a fighting chance that we don't know who's going to be at least the figurehead in charge of the franchise.
King Arthur says, my thing is all these former Vikings that sucked, in all caps, and are now all-pro or at least doing levels better than with the Vikings. Makes me wonder if they were working with JJ's footwork enough, and makes me wonder if Kwesi's picks weren't as bad as we thought. Think about CD's injury, too. It just feels like this team's conditioning and training is off compared to the rest of the league. I don't know if it's poor training people that are... In fact, I would say no.
Darrisaw's coming off, if I'm not mistaken, he tore 2 ligaments in his knee.
Yeah.
Like that's the problem. Yes, he does not look like himself, and I also think he rushed back.
And there is something weird there, like in terms of Darrisaw's ability and the team not like forcing him to play, but putting him in a position to play. There is, I think, something there. I don't know exactly what that is.
Yeah.
But Mekhi Blackman is having a decent season here. You know what's so ironic, and it was probably, unfortunately, a telltale sign of what's to come. But when he passed on Kyle Hamilton, when you had an All-Pro safety sitting in your lap for your first draft, and they trade back, you draft Lewis Seen, who's has turned into one of the all-time busts for the Vikings. That was probably, if he drafts Kyle Hamilton, we're having a different conversation. But instead, he went full Kwesi.
And if he drafts Kyle Hamilton, there's a very good chance that Josh Metellus is not on this team because since the Ravens made that trade, I think it was with the Chargers for safety, and moved Kyle into the Metellus role in Baltimore. And of course, Kyle Hamilton's all world. The Darisaw thing, let's get back to that for a second, because that story's not out yet, and I don't know it's going to get out. But at the end of the day, I would love to know the culpability there, because in OTAs, O'Connell made it very clear that Darisaw was like pushing like a madman to return, and they were like, "Hold on a second here, hold on, slow down," and he didn't. But then his comments in recent months have indicated that I wasn't even supposed to be back till, and I don't know if he's like trying to pat himself on the back for coming back because he insisted on coming back, or if he's saying they pushed me. It feels like that's a story that's not been explored. But this note has a very good point. And that is, we could have a long conversation about development of players and also ability to identify. Like Mekhi Blackman, why did you trade him? Why, like you were, did you really think, oh, you guys don't understand Jeff Okudah, he's a warrior. First of all, he's hurt all the time. He has been. And second of all, he's really good. Why was Mekhi Blackman traded? If I'm not mistaken, the one that's getting some attention now, and it deserves it, is 1,000 viewers, only 76 likes. Yeah, thanks, Wolf Hyman. Hit the like button, y'all. On this, you know what? Happy Thanksgiving to us. Hit that like button. The one that's getting a ton of attention now, Dex, is the fact the Vikings traded Andrew Booth Jr., I think it was, but they traded Booth, who was a failed second-round pick, obviously, to Dallas for Nahshon Wright. And then they had Nahshon Wright in the building.
I know.
And it turns out to be a spectacular trade. It's a steal. The Vikings steal. But here's the problem. Wright's playing for the Bears, and I think he's got like 5 picks, including 2 against the Vikings. One on opening night was a pick 6. So there is a legitimate conversation to be had here about ability to identify and hold on to young talent. But all of that being said, if this was like one draft, Dex, or a few players that they whiffed on, like identifying, and that they were good, but we have a significant sample size of guys who have busted. So I'm not going to give Kwesi the benefit of the doubt here, but I will say I agree with anyone who questions, like, how are you identifying guys who are in your building and trading them or releasing them and holding on to some guys when it turns out the guy that you jettisoned was actually better?
Cold Skyrim says it's pretty obvious O'Connell never wanted McCarthy, and Kwesi in the front office forced it. This one's also tough to read because I don't know if O'Connell never wanted McCarthy. I think clearly Drake May was his guy, and Drake May would be the guy on like 27 teams right now if they had a chance to do it. But I don't know if KOC was completely out on him. I bet I will say this. I bet there were, okay, we got to have a good plan here. Yep. And it was signing Sam Darnold, and it was Darnold winning that job and playing really well. But I think he probably is a little surprised and obviously frustrated that McCarthy's development has not come up to speed in year 2 of the NFL.
I think O'Connell had a great interest in keeping Kirk Cousins. I think there was a plan last season or after the season, that they could keep Daniel Jones. And so do we think O'Connell wanted to keep veteran QBs? Probably. That being said, he in no way gets a pass on the McCarthy pick. 0 chance. Again, I'll go back to what he said at that, I think it was like a church group gathering a couple of years ago, which was, he said, I am known in the building as the quarterback killer. There have been quarterbacks that people have wanted to draft, and I say no. So now you're telling me that O'Connell got overruled? He's the head coach with a ton of power. I mean, he's got a ton of power. So you're telling me then that somebody just went rogue and ran up to the podium or gave the note card to Roger Goodell and said, okay, just do this now. Pull the trigger for us, Roger. And Kevin O'Connell, we have strapped him down. Come on. Kevin O'Connell played a huge role there. Let's not give him a pass. Nobody. My whole take on this Dex is this: there's no good guy. So like McCarthy is definitely disappointing, and he has to take some of that blame. But I see like these. There's the McCarthy camp and O'Connell camp. It's like no, neither one of them gets a camp. Both of them take the fall for this. So I am not going to absolve anyone for this. This involves everybody, including the kid himself.
Christopher says, Judd, I think you have this completely wrong. Kwesi, analytics guy, chose putting money into the defensive players and not keeping Darnold. And I think KOC with the majority and isn't seeing eye to eye with his GM, and he needs to clean office. What do you think the relationship with KOC and Kwesi is? Do you think it's good still?
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
No. And I forget what I said exactly, but one is it trended to me to be like they thought that they could keep Jones. Darnold was going to leave. Let's not forget. So these things are not all, and I'm probably guilty of this too. These things are not black and white. So anytime that you say, well, Sam Darnold in Seattle, incredible. What a mistake. What a great year. 14 wins in 2025. Those last two games, if you don't think they played a major role in how the Vikings felt, like they literally watched their quarterback in Detroit pee down his pants. So like let's not forget that. Let's not forget that when it came to the most important time, I mean, at least McCarthy is giving you the warning. Darnold's dangerous because what he does is he gets to the moment of truth and he's like, I've done this so far. And then it's like, oh my God, what are you doing? What is this? So this is not black and white. Do I think that Kwesi and O'Connell have the exact same opinions on things? No. So I think that's a very good point. I wouldn't be surprised if their relationship currently is not great. I don't know that, but I mean, things haven't gone well. Things are rarely great when things don't go well. So, but I also would not say that Kevin had the right idea in mind here. And they definitely, because of the bad draft picks, did have to spend on defense. That's true. That's a 100% proven point.
Grateful Dead. I don't know if it's the band. I don't know if it's.
Jerry Garcia is dead.
Yeah.
And I think the lead, I think, what's his face? Bob, I forget his last name. He's dead. A lot of them are dead. Great time, though.
He says from the grave that the future of this team is moot as long as Kwesi is making personnel decisions. He and his minions are awful at evaluating talent, and we need a GM that knows ball, in all caps.
Well, I think you need somebody there who does a bit more because we just went through it. I mean, you traded away a draft pick who is helping the Colts now. So, yeah, I mean, I don't disagree.
Ryan says Judd took the day off, so you didn't have to hear Doogie. Did you? Is this
That's
why? Were you
true.
avoiding me, Phil, and Doogie on Tuesday?
I'm sure
Judd?
you guys did a great show, and no, I love Darren dearly. I would not say a mean thing about my guy. I've known the guy. I've known him since the Doogie tag applied, and now he's in his 40s, I believe. So it doesn't apply as much now. But no, I did not do that.
Okay, and there was also a lot of welcome back sports dad on Wednesday.
Bob Weir, and he's not dead. I'd like
Bob
to
Weir.
apologize. I'm told
Bob
he's
Weir.
not dead.
Yeah, Bob Weir in the YouTube.
I thought he was
comments.
dead.
Jam bands are one of my. I do not like the Grateful Dead, and I don't like jam band style.
So the so there's one song I'm going to recommend because I'm with you. Like these fish, like let's play the same song for 3 days. I'm with you totally. There's a song, and it might be a Bob Weir song called "Box of Rain." You would love it. It's a song he wrote in the early 70s. He was driving back and forth to see his dad in like a home, and his dad was dying. And it's a great song, and it's not that long. But it's not a Jerry Garcia jam.
Okay, good to know.
I think it would be a Declan special.
Okay. That boy True says Declan would smoke KOC in Madden because you know that KOC would be throwing the ball every play.
Well, you tell me.
That is kind of funny. I used to play Madden religiously as a teenager, and I think like Madden 15, like 2015 was probably the last time I played it religiously. But I used to play it all the time, playing online, playing for money even. I was literally playing Madden for money. Got to that point. There was like this. Works. Yeah, there was like this website where basically you had predetermined, like you would go on there, and you'd set up a matchup with someone worth. The winner gets $25 or $50 or whatever.
And would you Venmo it at the time?
Yeah, I think it was PayPal because PayPal has been around for a while. I think is what I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you could. And is that legal?
I don't know.
That does not sound like it would be legal.
Yeah.
I mean, not that the authorities would care.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if it was legal, but I haven't played Madden in a very long time, and I would guess I could beat KOC in Madden unless he plays it. I would bet I could beat him in Madden.
I guarantee he played it as a kid.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Through college, right?
Yeah, of course.
Through college. Wouldn't it be funny if he ran the ball a ton in Madden?
Yeah.
He's like, in this game, I like to run.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
The Hoopy TV, I don't even know what this name is. He says Snake Draft should be jam bands this week. It will not be jam bands this week. Although we've done Overrated Musicians Draft, and I think I thought about drafting Grateful Dead. But they're also they're so niche too, though. You know, like when I think overrated, which by the way, we're about to get to our snake draft, and it's there's another overrated topic.
Yep.
When I think that I think that's too niche is that style of music. Not to say I mean I don't like it, but I don't know if I'd say it's overrated. It wouldn't come to my first few picks as an overrated selection either.
I have a great appreciation for and I'm not a big fan, the Grateful Dead. Just because they lasted for so long, but I do not listen to like Fish. Like I just can't take it.
Yeah.
And if you like it, that's awesome. That's great. It's just not my bag.
Not my bag, baby. Before we get to the snake draft with AJ joining us, Judd, we had an awesome time at Hop House earlier this month. We have another fun thing that's in the works that we're working on too with them. Tell us about Hop House at Mystic Lake.
Oh, I definitely will, because guess what, folks? You know the sports dad's been hunting around for years for a great sports bar, right? Yeah. Like I've been going into bars for years, and I've wanted to watch all of the games on, and so often I'm disappointed because they don't do it right. They leave TVs on the wrong things. They don't change things. Well, at Hop House at Mystic Lake, it is the exact opposite. It is like being in a sports paradise. And I continue to say this, but if you're a football fan and a Vikings fan, but it's been a tough year, there is no better place to go on a Sunday right now, because delicious food, great drinks. You can watch the Vikings, but as Declan saw, they have so many TVs. They're going to have every game on, not just another game, not just like the Packers game. They're going to have every game on. Hop House at Mystic Lake. You know what? Start by staying the night in a great hotel. You play, you stay, you have fun. But if you're a sports fan, Hop House is going to be where you want to hang out.
SeatGeek's where you want to hang out with for tickets. You can get 10% off any tickets with promo code PURPLE10 at SeatGeek. Whether you're looking to see the purple at home or on the road, concerts, Broadway shows, comedy shows, so many different things at SeatGeek. So if you're looking for tickets to our event, we have a nice little hookup here for you. PURPLE10, 10% off any tickets at SeatGeek. Go download it. It's in the App Store. It's in the Google Play Store. PURPLE10 for 10% off. And then one more shout out, Judd, to Vector Windows. Saw that Vector Windows truck across the street from me the other day. Some house was getting some nice Vector
Very
windows.
Smart.
Tell us about Vector.
Very, very, very smart. Because guess what they knew? They knew that in this state, we know how to handle tough conditions, and so do the folks at Vector Windows and Doors. Vector products are engineered to stand up to the elements, which we are seeing right now as it gets really cold outside, but they're going to keep your home comfortable and efficient. Locally made and built to perform season after season, their vinyl windows and patio doors are reliable, energy efficient, and backed by great support. Vector is a proud example of local craftsmanship and commitment. So go with the team. That's the home team. Go with Vector to find your local Vector dealer, vectorwindows.com/dealer. Check them out. Vector, VECTOR windows.com/dealer. Don't allow that cold to creep into your home. Keep your home nice and comfortable.
All right, it's time for our snake draft of the week. We're going to bring in our guy, AJ Fredrickson here, the Rivera, the Andy Pettit, however you want to quantify it. He just wins snake drafts. AJ's making his 13th appearance on a snake draft. Has been a bit. The last one you were on, Age, was in October, and you won it. Things You Hate to Pay For. You did win that, and decisively. You won it with 78% of the vote. Last week, we did Sesame Street characters. Very close draft for the most part, but Judd, you picked up the victory there. 39% win there for you. Edged me out by about 4 or 5%. This is the 71st snake draft we will do. Judd, you're hitting 343 lifetime. You are 24 of 70 in snake drafts. You've been a part of every single one. Phil is 20 for 64. I am 18 for 61. And then AJ is 7 for 12. So, yeah, over 50%.
He just comes in. He's the Jesper Wallstedt. He just comes in and gets a shutout and then flips us off and leaves.
Judd's Hockey Show for more Jesper Wallstedt and Minnesota Wild content.
Live today, postgame.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Yeah. Matinee, right?
2:30. The Avs. This is a big one. This is for all the marbles decks.
I love it. So our snake draft topic this week, overrated television shows. Obviously, a very prominent show was just dropped on Wednesday night. I'll just say it because I'm guessing someone might take it. Stranger Things dropped on Wednesday.
And
Binge it all on
Wednesday
Wednesday night.
Right?
Huge fan. Love Stranger Things. Got binged all 4 on Wednesday night. Episodes 2 were like an hour-ish, like an hour long, and then the next installment on Christmas, like each one's like 90 minutes to 2 hours. Yeah, when Joe Ryan was Billy Hargrove. Yeah.
Joe Ryan, yeah.
Not Billy Hargrove. That's the manager in Little Big League. Right?
Oh boy. We thought you liked it. We thought you were a huge fan.
Not a real Stranger Things
fraud. Stranger Things fraud.
So overrated television shows is our topic. The draft order this week, I believe I have this right. Because AJ's in for Phil's spot, AJ gets the top pick. Judd, you have the second pick, and I have the third pick and the wraparound.
Oh, I wish I had the wraparound.
You always wish you have the wraparound.
How do you guys do that? Because Judd had the third last week, so does he jump up to 1 or does he go to 2?
No, he goes to 2. So yeah, it just goes back. So
Age protecting me.
I want the first pick.
Age has the first pick.
Together.
Judd has the second pick. I have the third pick and the wraparound. So Age, you're on the clock. Overrated television shows. Lead us off here. Got the 1 of 1. What is it, my friend?
I don't have faith in my ability to win this draft. I think I'm gonna really make some people mad because I'm very not anti TV show, but I don't watch a lot of TV shows. Like there's few that I genuinely like and I sit down for. I'm more of a movie person. But this one is one I've tried to get into, and I've been told it's the best thing of all time. It's better than anything you've ever watched before. And I started it and I tried it. I'm like, I'm just on the fence. And then I hear, don't even bother. The final season, everything's ruined. Give me Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones. Super overrated. Yep. Like George R.R. Martin, I understand he stopped writing the book, so they branched off. What are you doing? Like, honestly, what is he doing? Bad. Thank you for the Elden Ring stuff, but finish these books. The Winds of Winter apparently have been happening for years now.
He got bored
because of how overrated
Can't the man
show is.
Pick a new project? I mean, it's not his fault that they had to turn the damn thing into a TV show. It's a book.
But it at a certain point,
like
you just got to wrap
it up. She got bored.
And...
She wrote too many of them.
That doesn't surprise me that you are.
You know what?
That's
an indictment on TV people. Because they can't think like they can't, it's like, well, the book ends. What should we do? Let's just have people have sex.
There should be an aim for 4 seasons max. If you go past 4 seasons, I expect you to just run out of content.
This is a great, you know what? You just brought up a great point. I love that point, which is because I used to TV show. Oh man, it's back for another season. It's back for another season. Unless you switch characters a lot or themes, you should probably run a television show like that for 3 to 4 years tops.
Yep.
I agree completely with that. That's a great point.
Give me quality over quantity for sure.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And by the end, you're just milking the money from it.
Yeah.
Okay. My pick.
Yep.
All right, I am. I'm not going to go with streaming because there's so much low-hanging fruit in the linear television world here. Give me Friends.
Friends, okay. I
That
figured
was-
this was gonna get taken.
Yeah.
Give me Friends. It's I used to watch it for a while, but you talk about a show that just became a cash grab. I mean, my God, the rule of thumb is this too. When there's two characters that you want to hook up in a show, once they do, that show's over.
Mm-hmm.
Ross and Rachel, and it was like this cute storyline. Once they hooked up, we were all out. We were all out of ideas. Never works.
Yeah, I like Friends, but I was even still thinking about taking it. My wife loves it. She's a diehard P1 Friends fan.
She's of that age. Yeah.
Yep.
No, that's not surprising.
I have a big prejudice against shows that need a laugh track. I don't know if you guys feel the
you've
same
mentioned
way.
this. Yes.
You take up
Sitcoms with
there's videos out there that people have edited out the laugh track, and they look like psychopaths. And granted, it's totally out of context, so I get that. But there's nothing quotable. I think there, like The Office, you have a lot of good stuff. Maybe that's reached overrated to a point too. Maybe somebody's gonna grab it, but there's nothing that I think is removed from Friends where it's like that's an iconic scene. That's an iconic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
In the 70s, everything, unless it was just some very serious show, had a laugh track. The worst one was MASH. MASH had a laugh track. It was about the freaking Korean War. It was it was sort of funny, but it was also deep and trying to have a laugh track. In fact, the people that developed MASH were like, we do not want a laugh track, and the executives were like, have to have a laugh track. Everyone has a laugh track.
All right, so I have back-to-back picks here. I'm gonna go with these two for sure. First one, How I Met Your Mother. And there's a Vikings tie into this, I know. So I don't know, some Purple Daily fans are fans. But I've tried with this show. I don't find it funny at all. I think it's pretty terrible. It's not as iconic as your two selections in Game of Thrones and Friends. It was around for a while. It does have a decent cast. I wanted to like it. I just don't find it funny at all. So I will go with How I Met Your Mother with my first pick.
I think that's another similar to mine where they just kind of wrapped up because at that time you had a bunch of actors who were trying to do other things, and they were like, well, we got to do one more season. So for one of them, I think Jason Segel's character isn't with everybody. He's on the road for the entire season because he was filming a movie.
Yep.
It's just wrap it up. Wrap it up.
Yeah, exactly right.
With my next pick, so I do think that this show does get a lot of hatred, but it went on for way too long. Give me Lost. Lost was horrendous after the first two. What's in that crate? And then it just opens up this other ridiculous Pandora box of BS that I'm not interested in. I know this is overrated TV shows, and for me, this is I literally despise this show. So give me Lost with my second pick on the wraparound.
Solid.
I never watched it, so I'll take your word for it.
Lost?
Not a fan.
Yeah.
It was huge hit for 2 years. And
Yeah,
then,
it was.
And then that. But again, it should have ended.
Yeah.
I hear
They
it's
should've
like
just
Prison
wrapped it
Break,
up.
where the first season
Yeah.
or two is super good television,
Yeah.
and then
Yep.
similar. It's a recurring theme. They just didn't wrap it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Judd, you're back on the clock with your second pick here.
This is easy. Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, damn it.
Just a
I meant
terrible
it.
show
I meant
that
to
won't
grab
go. Has it been canceled yet?
No,
think
I
so.
I saw.
She's 70. She's a walker now, okay? And this show, here's my problem. I've never thought from day one it was any good. And you talk about they jumped the shark 10 years ago. They're killing people left and right. Just a terrible show.
I meant to grab that. I thought about it last night, and I forgot to write it down on my big board this morning. Huge missed opportunity, and Judd snipes a good medical one there. Yeah. Also, my wife loves that show. Can't stand it.
Does she?
Can't stand it.
Okay, I'm disappointed in Kelsey there.
Yep. She's got a lot
The
of shows
Friends thing
hate.
I get, a lot of like the Friends. My Friends pick is a little bit controversial. I think Grey's is a slam dunk piece of crap.
Agreed. Agreed. Age, you're back on back-to-back picks here to get us into the second and third rounds.
This kind of makes it tough. There's a handful of things here that I don't know are very, I think, B tier level of things. Everything I think top tier is now off the board. I'm gonna go first just because of the recency here and how much this has been kind of thrown down the throats of America recently. Give me Dancing with the Stars.
That's a good one.
Okay. I just don't get it. It's a popularity contest at the end of the day, it feels like, because from my understanding, Andy Richter hung on to a spot on this show all season long solely because of how likable he is. Not a good dancer, but they're like holding this man at gunpoint essentially. Get back out there for another week, Andy. Learn another tango step or whatever. And then it comes down to who would have predicted that Robert Irwin, the young, conventionally attractive man in front of a, predominantly female-based audience, was going to win because he's athletic and he's good looking and he can kind of dance. Like, who would have thought that was? And then, like, I don't know. I'm sure. And the very controversial. They forced, like, was it Gypsy Rose Blanchard on a season or two ago, and she that like very controversial. They forced one.
You know a lot about this show.
I used to work with Kristen Burt, who covers entertainment stuff, and I would hear the lowdown on this show every single week.
I was gonna say you seem to be very well versed in.
You must have been set to quit the business at that point.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
No offense, but I quit.
My next one. I mean, there's a handful here. I want to go Stranger Things, but it's very avoidable, and I feel like I can't do two like streaming shows like that. I think I'm gonna probably have to go with. Oh God, I'm gonna go with This Is Us. Remember that show?
Great pick.
This Is Us.
Mackie would be filleting you right
That's
now.
on my big board.
No,
no, you're right.
It's
Preach.
just
Preach, Age.
It's just not a good show. It's just not a good show. I don't like these shows where it's like hyperbolic in how unlikable characters are. Like Shameless, for instance. This was another one that I think is like very close to being.
Love the passion.
It's just, hey, here's these people. We want you to root for them, but also they're all terrible people. They're all terrible people, and it's unrealistic scenarios to which they're going to like. Nobody's lives are this interesting or this problematic all the time.
Right.
And I get it's a TV
Correct.
show, but
Don't care.
it's too much. I don't care. Whatever.
They literally wanted people to cry every week. Mm-hmm. And it's like, first of all, that's
nobody's life
but
is
then,
that emotional.
But then where they lost me big time was when we found out that the dad died in a house fire started by a crock pot. Yep. And the crock pot community had to come out and say, we've never started a house fire. Like we've never had a crock pot blamed for a house fire. You people are libeling one of the great inventions in American history, the crock pot. I mean, you put your turkey in that crock pot. Oh my God, it's fantastic. So I'm with you. Not a great show. No.
All right, Judley, what's your final pick in your snake draft?
So we can go with Dancing with the Stars. I didn't even have this on my list, my radar until now, but I will, if that's the case, I will take the Bachelorette franchise.
Damn it. That was going to be mine.
Age opened up the door. So I mean, that's, that is crap. I mean, it's absolute crap. It's terrible.
I tried to like it. It is awful. It is so bad.
I've tried to sit down and like the concept is just not something that I think is entertaining, because they want drama, but also they try to find, and then you find out 2 months later, hey, these people that they were fated, the stars aligned for their love story. By the way, they got divorced and they hate each other's guts now.
Yeah,
exactly. I wonder why.
Exactly. And again, maybe a creative idea for a couple of years.
Yeah,
and then you end it.
Not a bad idea. Don't carry shows on for too long. Not necessary. Completely unnecessary. All right, last pick for me, rounding things out. I have some options here. I was hoping The Bachelor or Bachelorette would fall to me. I'm between a few. You just mentioned Shameless, AJ. I don't like Shameless. Tried to like it. Don't like it. Can't stand it. Drives me nuts. Yep, drives me nuts. Seinfeld is on my big board. I love Curb. Hate Seinfeld. Can't get into it. Can't get into it. I want to like it. Can't like it. Don't like it. So that's also up there for me. And then the other one I'm between, and it's more of, again, my lovely wife watches shows that I cannot stand. And over the majority of my paternity leave, I would come downstairs after sleeping, and let's just say also this last night, my old sonny boy decided only to sleep in 90-minute increments. It was a long night in the Goff household last night. But when I would come downstairs when I was on paternity leave, I'd wake up and I could hear the theme song of Gilmore Girls playing, and I can't stand that show.
Never watched it.
Again, this is a little nichey.
Dawson's
a little
Creek
nichey.
too.
Yep, it's a female mostly targeted show, but I cannot stand either of them. I don't think, to AJ's point, I don't think they're good people. I don't think they make good decisions.
Yep.
And it drives me nuts. So I'm going to take Gilmore Girls. This might save or really not help my draft, but I have to take it. My wife's going to be so mad at this, but I'll take Gilmore Girls to round out my pick.
I think that's great. Like you said, the shows where the person is just a villain the entire time. And granted, that works for a lot of things. Like Breaking Bad, he starts as kind of like this, teacher who gets cancer. He ends as being like one of the worst people ever. But there's an evolution there. Like you liked him and you have an investment from the get go. Gilmore Girls. Oh my God, I can't even think of her name. What's the daughter's name? It's like Rory or
Rory.
Rory.
Lorelai and Rory. Yeah.
She's just a terrible person.
Oh, horrible.
Just
horrible
one
person.
of the worst characters in television history.
What was that on? Was that a WB show?
Yeah,
Okay,
it was
so
WB
that
show.
was
And
that was
UPN.
that was Dawson's. Was it Dawson's Creek? Gilmore Girls?
Yeah.
Like a brilliant marketing strategy.
Yeah.
But okay.
Oh yeah, clearly they did their work.
But yeah, you're right. None of those people, good. And plus, the dialogue for supposed teenagers, hilarious.
Yeah,
Like if you go back and watch Dawson's Creek, the dialogue, they're speaking at like a Harvard level like intelligence, and it's like, I don't know. It just Dex is right. It's just stupid.
And then
It's
the
just
50-year-old who
incredibly
wrote the
stupid.
scene threw in like one slang word in between like
Yeah.
amicable and rudimentary or whatever, and it's like, yo.
All right, good stuff.
Anyways.
All right, so and AJ, I'm sorry I don't have your team up here, but I draft How I Met Your Mother, Lost, and Gilmore Girls. Judd takes Friends, Grey's Anatomy, and the Bachelor/Bachelorette franchise.
And then I got Game of Thrones, Dancing with the Stars, and This Is Us.
Okay.
Age is a credible threat again.
I think these are all actually really good teams. Like this is going to come down to the
threat.
wire.
Mm-hmm. I agree. All right, guys. Appreciate you. We have purple picks coming up on Saturday. Vikings vent line then on Sunday. 3 o'clock game. Totally forgot it was 3 o'clock. Did not know it was a 3 p.m. game until like yesterday. I was like, oh, that throws my entire Sunday plans.
It's in Seattle, so it has to be.
That's true. I forgot about that. It's West Coast game.
Unless
But I
you
don't know.
wanna kick her off at like 9 a.m.
Well, they've had so many weird. I mean, it took them 2 months into the season to get back-to-back noon games. I got accustomed back to my noon starts, and they had 4 games in a row.
Yeah, you're
there,
not going
so-
to get a noon. You're not going to get a noon.
10 a.m. 10 a.m. Seattle time.
Kick her off with the Bloody Marys, baby.
Oh, that's awesome. So yeah, purple picks, and then Vikings vent line on probably dropping Sunday night, obviously after the game. So appreciate you. Purple Daily Vikings Entertainment, where we just want to see the Vikings win a Super Bowl before we die.